This is LA's first.
Live from Los Angeles, welcome to the Dr. Erin Show. We're all about manifestation, transformation, and breakthroughs. It's time to claim your birthright of prosperity, vitality, and love. So grab your tea or coffee because together we're awakening the world. May you live your truth. Live from Los Angeles, we come together to know the truth, live on spiritual principle, and align with universal law. We truly believe when somebody awakens, they have a gift and message to bring to the world. And together, we're awakening the world. We have the mission of awakening 1 billion people. And how I know we are fulfilling upon that mission is by developing world-renowned spiritual entrepreneurs, spiritual coaches, spiritual practitioner, law of attraction, and doctors of divinity, helping all of us come out to the world with our voice, with our message, helping bring truth and helping people thrive on this amazing planet that we have right here, right now. So let's do this thing. If you are interested in money breakthrough, today's podcast is for you. Today is all about supply and demand, which is one of the basic principles of economics, of monetization, and also understanding how we're creating, how we're manifesting, how we are calling upon universal law to create and demonstrate specifically what we want to experience. So let's break this on down. This is number 8 of a 12 series of money breakthrough. You definitely want to listen to this podcast. Put everything down, put it away, get your notes out. This is going to change your life, change your business, change the way you take a look at what's going on in the world right now, and change the way you're going to begin to market and monetize and help people deliver them the life that they truly desire, their dreams. Okay, so let's do this thing. So supply and demand, it's interesting because we teach in universal law that there's a law of supply and demand. And what the demand is the demand is the part of ourselves that we demand upon our subconscious mind that is one with the subjective mind. And we call upon this, right? It's how we've created the 5th finger, right? It's we demanded it by what we needed, right? We needed it. And there's a life force, an unlimited resource for unlimited energy. And so we understand this principle. But let's break this on down from a perspective of business. How does this work exactly? So in economics, basic principle, if you went to any business school, you would learn the law of supply and demand, that everything is really about what people need and the supply and demand around it. There's a great book that's called Clipper Ship, and it basically talks a lot about there was these ships and they're called clipper ships. And it was during the gold rush, when the gold rush was coming on. And basically there was items that on the West Coast, primarily in San Francisco, the people that were, finding gold, if you will, they had certain things they needed. They needed jeans, they need pickets, they need shovels, they need all these things. They needed these things to make money. So they were willing to pay big money for these things to make more money. So they built these clipper ships because on the East Coast, they basically had, they had those items. They were able to make those things. They were running out of them on the West Coast. So what they did is they got all the jeans, all the shovels, all the picks, all the things they needed for the gold rush on the East Coast, and they would put them on these ships and they would port them across the north all the way around and to San Francisco. And there was supposedly something like a 1500% markup from what they would buy on the East Coast to what they were able to sell it on the West Coast. And the point is that there's a supply and demand, right? What will you pay for something that you truly need? You'll probably pay more for it than something that you don't really need. So we have to understand the same concept when it comes to supply and demand of what's happening in the world. And we recognize there's only one cause, which is spirit, which is our true self. And we get to use it to either create the supply and demand of helping people bring more harmony in their life, helping them fulfill their dreams, or, basically creating heaven on earth, or we can invert it. And we can really create the supply and demand to create hell on earth and manipulate people and create, a discord, if you will. It's all the same use of the law, but it really is truly the same principle of supply and demand. So I don't want to get too political today, but I do want to have people understand why people are kind of having, fear around an agenda around what's happening on with the pandemic and with the vaccine. Okay. And I'm not for or against it. Okay. I'm going to keep a neutrality on it. And I believe that each individual gets to make their own decision. But the point is that some people are stating that there is an agenda, that they're able to put the demand up for a vaccine by making it more fear in the news and everything else to create the demand. And the people that are in charge of the supply of the vaccines are being scrutinized and looked at to wonder if they had this agenda. And so big corporations people take a look at them. How much are they actually authentic and transparent in what their, supply and demand is versus how much are they manipulating the marketplace to have that demand, so there's supply, so everything goes up in price, right? So it's a really important conversation. It's an important conversation. And the reason why is because you can take a look at it from all perspectives. Obviously, as I develop soulpreneurs and people that truly desire to make a difference in a good way, they want to help people fulfill their dreams. They want to bring truth. They want to end discord. They want to help them transform the trauma and so on and so forth. But what I find a lot with a lot of the spiritual industry and people that are really in this field is there's some naivety. There's not understanding the basics of life. For example, they will say, for example, I'm going to help people, feel better, or I'm going to help them get more enlightened, or I'm going to have them, I want to have them feel less overwhelmed. And it's very ethereal. It's very like broad in what they're actually. Why would somebody buy that, right? Generally, yes, we think, well, I would buy feeling better, or I would buy not being as confused or whatever, but it's not tangible enough for people. The demand comes when you realize that you have to have something, right? If you're going to you're going to transform your trauma just to feel better, it's one thing, but it's another thing to say, look, understanding that if someone doesn't do their trauma work, if they don't do their inner work, what's the reality? The reality is they're not going to be able to make and sustain the relationships that are going to have them have a good, fulfilled life. They're not going to be able to make the money at the level that they need to. They're not going to bring their expression out in the world. Their life is going to not add up to what they truly desire in life. So when you put it in that perspective of what it means to do your trauma work, what it means to do your spiritual work, what it means to do your subconscious reprogramming, and you really realize what the reality of it. Like if you don't do this, let's take a look at if you did do your inner work or if you didn't do your inner work. It's a huge dramatic difference of the quality of someone's life. Huge dramatic, how many hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars does it cost you to not do your inner work because you're not going to be as able, because you're not going to be able to, be consistent in your life. You're not going to be able to run a company. You're not going to be able to show up to your clients because you're a hot mess, right? I've been there. Trust me. Okay. So what is it worth to do your trauma work? What's it worth to do your inner work? What's it worth to do your subconscious reprogramming? Let me tell you, it should be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars when you take a look at what it's actually worth. And so that is what's called juxtaposition. That's what's called having a supply and demand, having people realize through your copy, through your social media, through your emails, through your ads, what is the result and what's the cost if they don't do something, right? This is building the supply and demand. This is having someone realize the value of something, okay? Because supply and demand is all about the value, and value is relative. Value is relative, okay? And a good example of this is, say, gasoline. Okay, gasoline, for example, will go up and down according to the demand, the supply and demand. And there's things in the economics, there's things of when people are driving more, there's things that drive these prices because the demand goes higher, right? That drives prices up. And that also has the people that are creating the fuel, the gasoline, they want to produce it more. And so it's like you level it out. You want to bring it into that equilibrium. So it's the same thing, whether you're a soul entrepreneur or not. It's not about manipulating it, but it's about really getting that. Part of our job is and one of our most important jobs is to help people get committed to their own dreams. That's probably one of our biggest jobs as soulpreneurs, is helping our clients get committed, demanding upon themselves and the universal law that their dreams, like they demand their dreams to be reality. They demand, and this is a law of demand. This is the law of why emergent evolution happened, why we created the fifth finger. It's because we freaking demanded it. We had to survive. And so part of our job in even, selling with soul and really truly wanting to have service in someone's life is to demand, to have them realize and get clear that they are worthy. They're worthy of their goals. They're worthy of fulfilling their life. They're worthy of doing their inner work. They're worthy of bringing their message and doing what they love as a career. And when they get that, the demand becomes so great that they are willing to pay for something that they may have not seen it. They may not have perceived it as something that was absolutely they demand in their life. Okay. So we have to understand that it all is supply and demand. How we use that supply and demand depends on if we're creating harmony or discord, right? We would never want a client to join one of our programs or work with us one-on-one or join a membership or do anything that wasn't in their highest good. That would be manipulative. That would not be good. Okay. But if you truly, truly believe that what you have and what transformation you can help someone go through and what your services are will benefit and help them fulfill, there's a match of what they need and what you have, then absolutely. But what I see over and over again with spiritually based entrepreneurs, spiritually based, coaches and things is they're not getting that they have to create the demand for their client because it's so ethereal. They have to get the results. What is the result? What is your promise? What is your promise as a spiritual entrepreneur? What's your promise as a coach? What results are you going to be able to say, I can get this for somebody? If they apply everything I do, then this is my promise. And I always say that over again. If you apply everything that I teach you within society and you're not getting results, then you have me for life. I can't help it. If you don't apply the principles, if you don't apply and implement things, that's on you, boo, right? But what is it that you can truly promise, right? So again, supply and demand. It's very simple. So in this, I recognize that businesses, and in particular large corporations, this is actually something I actually copied this from a video I was watching about supply and demand. It says businesses, and in particular large corporations, are often villainized as greedy, heartless institutions that take advantage of consumers. But if markets are transparent and buyers are free to choose, then businesses will have a hard time taking advantage. So this is the deal. We cannot look to the corporations to have ethics because some of them do and some of them don't. The power is in the people. And it is up to each and every one of us to do our due diligence to discover if we want to buy that product or not. Because guess what? We have the power, you guys. If we don't buy things from a corporation we don't like, they go out of business. So don't keep pointing the finger at the corporation. Point your finger at yourself. Where are you spending your money? And that is what we have to take a look at for the money breakthrough. The money breakthrough comes down to one thing and one thing only: knowing the truth of who you are. You are abundant. You are innovation. You are the law of supply and demand. You are that which says there's a surplus of this or a shortage of this. You are the one that gets to decide where you spend your money. You are the one. So the power is in the people. So today, as we know the truth of money breakthrough, the truth is that you are able to create the supply and demand by how you perceive things, by how you help others perceive things. You are able to generate exponentially by the power of consciousness. Robert Collier in The Secret of the Ages stated, the first principle of success is desire, knowing what you want. And that is what we do as spiritual entrepreneurs and spiritual coaches. Our greatest thing is to help our clients realize what it is that they truly desire and then help them get what they want. Desire is the planting of the seed within your heart and soul. And I know that any desire that you truly have would not be planted there if it was not only a possibility, but was already a potential in the universe. If money was of no issue, what would you do? And how do you spend your time? Understanding that as you demand it, the divine principle that everything is created from reality, that you have survived, morphed, and evolved by the principle of demand. You yourself would never be here. This body would not evolve. You would not have the fifth finger if it weren't for that part of yourself that said, I demand. I demand to have money. This is mine saying that I am ready. I am ready right now to have money, and I demand it. I demand to have the life that I deserve. I demand to have support. I demand to have a beautiful place for me to grow and thrive. I demand. And in that, there's a demand of supply and demand. And in this right now, in this moment for myself, I demand that. I demand because I give so much to the world. I give so much to my clients. I give so much to our community. I demand right here to have the most amazing, extraordinary team, to have a beautiful, space for the company, beautiful everything, because I demand it. I know who I am, and I know what I demand for myself. And the life force is me, and this unlimited resource, unlimited energy, unlimited life. I say right now, right here, I demand. And I know all supply is already given. As together we say, and so it is. Okay, you guys. So I want you to practice demanding. What is it that you demand to have a breakthrough in money around? What are you ready to claim for yourself in the realm of exponential abundance and prosperity that is in with you right now, and how that out pictures into your life? So I'm so excited. I love this conversation. So good. Know that everything comes down to supply and demand, but you are the one that has to demand it. And on that note, is just say thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for anybody that just came to this last VIP workshop I had. What was it? Yesterday. And this podcast is going to come out next week. We had the best time. It was amazing, beautiful. We had, I think, over 100 people. I think 140 people registered. We have about 90 people at the actual event. Some people watched a replay and whatever. It was 6 hours we spent together. The amount of clarity, the amount of transformation, the amount of lives being shifted. This is what we do. It's amazing. We're so blessed. And I just want to say also, thank you for everybody that came to the retreat, which was the previous week. Also, we had 2 days of incredible transformation, which was game changing for me, because I actually am going to be shifting the entire company of how I actually teach in more chunks and immersive times with you guys. And I'm super excited for that. We'll still have weekly things, still have weekly support calls, everything, but I'm still going to teach more in immersive chunks like that, so that can really get diving deep for people. So if you are somebody who is ready to demand more abundance and prosperity in your life and money, then I would tell you definitely to come and check out soulsociety.com. Definitely get involved. Definitely get a part of the community, join leadership, or get certified as a spiritual coach, practitioner, or whatever. I know that we have an incredible community, incredible programs. You can also grab some freebies off of my bio link on Instagram. Across all board, I'm drerin.tv, DRERIN.tv. And this is what I know for sure. May you live your truth. May you be set free, and may you demand every last drop of what you really are here to claim, the best life, the best you. As together we say, and so it is. Thank you for tuning in to Soul Society and Dr. Erin podcast. If you've had a calling to be a spiritual leader or coach, you can go to soulsociety.com and check out our free training. If you've received value here, I would love it if you take a moment and give a 5-star review. In exchange, I have a ton of free gifts for you. Grab your free awakening book, 40 guided meditations, and digital manifesting masterclass. I also have a free money meditation and worksheet for you, so you can begin to break through your scarcity mindset and claim your birthright of prosperity. You can get all of your gifts and learn about our upcoming transformational events in my bio link in both Instagram and Facebook. That's under drerin.tv, which is DRERIN.tv. Also, I'd love to invite you into our free private community on Facebook under groups called Soul Society. That is facebook.com/groups/Soul Society. That's SOULCIETE. Have a divine day, and may you live your truth.